bit more civilised in this town. Oh, into a small world. When I say live, I don't mean I've seen dead ones.
I can't imagine I'll ever be more north on the planet than I am right now.
Hello, Mr. Reindeer. Or actually, probably more accurately, Mrs. Reindeer. That's my first live reindeer. When I say live, I don't mean I've seen dead ones. I mean, it's like right in front of me there in nature. Oh dear. Well, that was just fantastic. I've seen the signs change from moose to reindeer since we've crossed the Arctic Circle. I'm looking to see if there's a jet wash. I'm carrying a ton weight in bugs at the moment. Can't be good for my fuel consumption. Right, so I've just seen a moose sign as well, so I've got to watch out for both a reindeer and mooses. It's 8 p.m. now. This is dark as it's going to get. That has got to be one of the prettiest things I've ever seen in my life. You can see the reflection on the water. I couldn't believe it when I turned the corner. Got to be really careful. There's loads of reindeer around here and baby ones too. Must be like lambing season. It's just spectacular here. Spectacular. I didn't want to leave where I've left about an hour and a half ago because it was so lovely, and I was like that about staying another night. And if I had done, I wouldn't have seen this.
Your destination is on the left.
Dirty look. Well, that was just another amazing park up here in Finland. I keep thinking I've seen the best of it and then it proves me wrong. It's just amazing. Today we've got a relatively short drive to get to the next point where I think I'm going to get the bike out and go and do a ride. It's supposed to be a spectacular road, but I can't imagine it being any more spectacular than this. And this road I've just joined is highlighted as one of the most picturesque roads in all of Finland. It skirts along the border with Norway. Whoa, look at the size of that. Can't make his mind up. It's one thing going to see an animal in a confined environment like a zoo or something like that. Seeing an animal in its natural environment, untethered, just doing its thing, having a right nice day, thinking I'll go that way. No, actually I think I'll go that way. Too many decisions to make. Which way shall I go? And what a beast. What a beast. You wouldn't want to take that on, would you, with them horns? Made my day, is that. Absolutely made my day. I still haven't seen a British number plate since getting off the ferry in the Netherlands. I wonder if that's more to do with this 90 days that is a limitation. So if you're driving all this way and you've only got 90 days, would you actually get as far as this? Because most people won't drive like I do, where I'm going, right, well, I'm going there, just go hell for leather for that. You know, getting on a plane, going to Spain or whatever, that's one thing, because you know you're there for 2 weeks or whatever. But to jump in a vehicle and go on an unknown quantity to a destination, then yeah, that's probably off-putting for a lot of people. That's the only explanation I can think, because I haven't seen a single British number plate. So the route is the famous 970, and as usual I'll give you the wrong information. When I turned that corner before and said this was the route, it wasn't the route. It was on the way to the route. This is the route, this is the 970. I'm assured by everything, so prepare for some mind-blowing, beautiful scenery. I am. Well, I have to say, I don't see the appeal of this road unless I'm in the wrong mode of transport, but it's all just trees on either side. And what we can't see is there's a river that's running along our left-hand side of us, which is the natural border between Finland and Norway. Good morning from Finland, and sadly that's the last time I can say this.
I'm genuinely sad to be leaving here.
I mean, obviously it's exciting to know what's coming ahead, but I've just not been here long enough. This is definitely a place that I could spend a whole summer, easily spend a whole summer. I've been tempted by these little log cabins on the side of the lake. Believe it or not, you can actually buy like a rundown knackered one for 10,000 euros on a lake. I mean, you'd only be able to use it in the summer, but I mean, for 10,000 euros. And like the annual council tax, if you like, is usually like 500 euros a year. It's nothing. Very, very, very tempted. Very, very, very tempted. Finland, it has been absolutely amazing. It's blown my mind. I really had no expectations of Finland, actually, strangely. It was just a country I was passing through, and I'd heard there were a couple of nice roads. Speaking of a couple of nice roads, yesterday was one of those days. I believe the universe has balance. Everything has to have balance. So good luck. If you have good luck, then there has to be bad luck. There has to be. So I just accept that. I accept when I have bad luck, I think, oh good, that's one out of the way. I'm one closer to more good luck. Yesterday was one of those days where basically I lost my mojo. You know what I mean? Where everything, undoing a button or fastening a button up, everything's hard work, everything. It was just one of them days. And what I had planned was a spectacular road trip, ride on the bike, and unfortunately it was very, very windy. My earplugs kept dropping out every 30 seconds and the road, the beautiful view was on the left hand side on this road, all lakes and stuff like that. But because one of the benefits of Finland being there's trees that they haven't chopped down all over, you couldn't see the beautiful view because of the trees. I mean, if you start chopping trees down for stuff like that for the view, where does it stop? You know, that's the start of it all, isn't it? So I'm not against that. So basically, when I have a day like that, when I've lost my mojo, I just try and get out of the way and let the universe do its thing to balance everything, and then I'll come and re-engage. So it was a bit of a funny day yesterday, but nothing bad happened. And this is my last park up. My plan this morning was to get up and go for a jog. It was immediately obvious that that wasn't a good idea because as I was getting ready, all I could hear outside were buzzing. Obviously in the morning and in the evening, that's the time when the bugs come out. And I kind of thought it wouldn't be maybe the same because there is no morning and evening unless you're looking at a clock when you're in the Arctic. But it seems that the little bugs have got some way of knowing when it's dusk and dawn, even though you can't really tell. Outside here is just thick with things that want me to be breakfast. So I'm no way opening a window or getting out. Today's plan is quite exciting. I'm doing some extremes today, not like extreme water rafting or anything like that. I'm going to the extreme north of Finland, first of all, and then I'm going to the extreme east of Norway, where we'll be able to, I hope, see Russia in the distance. I don't think it's a good idea for me to get my drone out there. Let's hope that my mojo is back. This is it, boys and girls. The top of Finland and the EU. There's nowhere topperer. So, goodbye EU, goodbye Finland. Hello Norway. I don't know if there's more of a border crossing coming up. I've got my passport ready just in case, because we're not just crossing country, we're leaving the EU as well. Now, Norway is not part of the EU like Britain, but unlike Britain, it is part of the Schengen area, which means that Norwegians can travel freely in Europe. And I've said this before, I don't know why we're not part of the Schengen. It's nothing to do with all that EU stuff. It's just purely about freedom of movement within the EU. If you go on holiday a couple of times a year for a fortnight, it makes no difference to you. But if you want to travel around Europe like I do, and many thousands and thousands of people do, then at the moment we're limited to just 90 days out of the last 180. If we join the Schengen, that would simply fix that. And there's no baggage with it. Well, this is beautiful, isn't it? And the moment I drive into Norway, the sun comes out again. I mean, is that an omen? I hate to say it, but could this be my new favourite place? It's just beautiful already and I haven't even seen anything yet. So Norway is home to the longest tunnel in the world. It's just a touch over 15 miles long. You can legally camp on uncultivated land anywhere in Norway. That includes forests, beaches, anywhere like that. As long as you leave no trace and treat the area with respect. What a van lifer's dream is that? And finally, Norwegians eat frozen pizza like it's a national sport. The most favoured pizza is called Grandiosa and is jokingly referred to as Norway's national dish. A bit like in Britain we refer to the chicken tikka masala as our national dish. And it's been known for people when they're travelling abroad to stock up on it and take it with them. Just to be clear on that one, they don't actually eat it frozen. It's bought frozen and then they cook it and eat it. They're that obsessed with Grandiosa, they eat over 40 million of them a year. That's one per person per week. So no, they don't crunch through it like it's a popsicle. Seriously, what a drive already. This is just spectacular, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. Lush, green, mountains, sea. The only thing that's missing right now is a frozen pizza. I'm going to have to get one out just to do the tradition here. I'll tell you what tradition I'm not going to do. Is it Norway where they do that fermented shark thing that was viral at some point? I ain't doing that. No, thank you. Right, let's make it official. Norway is my new favourite place. I didn't know what to expect here. I didn't do research, believe it or not. In my defence, I've got to say the good thing about not doing research is there's a lot of pleasant surprises. We're just going to do a quick water fill. So to empty my grey water, I just press that button and then as if by magic it all comes out there. So that's it. I don't know about you, but I think it's quite amazing, you know, when you see like people who are living up here on the top of the world. I mean, right now the weather's beautiful and it's 24 hours sun, but there's the other side of that where it's just frozen and 24 hours darkness, yet people are living here and thriving. It's quite amazing, isn't it, really? I mean, I'd love to have that winter experience, just to have the experience. I'd probably hate it, but I'd like to have the experience. So the scenery is very quickly changed to something a bit more bleak. It's a bit like when you go up to John O'Groats, it suddenly becomes very bleak, even though it's considerably further south to where I am right now. But it's the same kind of thing. You're getting to the end of the land and it all seems to go like this. Over there, by the way, there's the end of Finland and then it's Russia. That there is Russia. Mucky things, aren't they? Sheep. They were a lot cuter, weren't they, than them filthy things before. They're a bit more civilised in this town. Just come round the corner and I can feel the temperature drop. And look what I'm facing. Still snow left up there. That's where we're going. It's like a little island, but it's attached by a tunnel. And that is the extreme east. This is said tunnel to the other side. So we're in the non-touristy bit here. I've sort of picked a point of it, like a viewing point that I thought might be good to look across to Russia, which is very interesting. And I'm interested in these murals as well. I'm getting like Northern Ireland vibes here, Derry. So, if it's any consolation, I do get exasperated with myself. Right, so I'm going to put this on the screen for you, but basically from where we are, if I zoom out, you can see that all of this is Russia here that we're looking at, in that sort of direction over there. So I just thought, oh, that might be interesting to look at Russia. By the by, I've had plenty of opportunity to look at Russia coming up through Finland. We got very close to the border. I could have easily made a little detour and gone and had a look, but I'd imagine Russia's all concreted. They like concrete, don't they? So I think they'll have just concreted it all And I'm not a big fan of concrete myself, so whatever. So this is the northernmost fort in the world. Have you noticed there's a lot of in the world stuff? It's still occupied, but you know, not really. It's just for show. It's star-shaped, and mostly it's been as a defence system for Russia. It used to have a moat. It's not a lot of money, but I'm not bothered about going inside because there's not really that bothered to be here, to be honest. In fact, let's go somewhere else. I bet it's a bitch to get your lawnmower from there. There's 91 plaques, one for each victim sentenced to death for witchcraft and burnt at the stake between 1600 and 1692. Yeah, crazy, eh? 91 people burned for witchcraft. I don't know if it was like that thing where if you survived you were a witch, like they used to do with the drowning. If they used to dunk you underwater, didn't they? And if you drowned, you were a witch. Oh dear, that's just hilarious, isn't it? I mean, who came up with that? Each of the names on the side here are the people who were burned at the stake for witchcraft. Sorry about the noise, I'm cutting the grass outside. When you look at it like this, it puts in perspective just how many people suffered at the hands of insanity. Incredible. And last but not least, Anders Poulsen. This is another piece of art to honour the poor people who were burned at the stake for being witches. Tell you what, this would be a really good place to visit in winter, especially if you bring some sausages with you. It's a big day today for me in Big Yellow. Today's the day we get to Nordkapp. I can't take Big Yellow looking like this. It just won't be fair. It'd never forgive me. Can hardly read the number plate. So this is an exclusive blend of river water. I'm washing up liquid. My mirrors look like they've been pebble dashed. That was a lovely park up last night. Really, really nice. But the only problem was I couldn't get outside because the sheer number of mosquitoes. I don't mind the odd one or two, but that was off the scale. I've noticed the more I'm going north, well, I'm not going to be able to go much more north now, but I've noticed that as we've got up into the north here, that the mosquitoes have got, I guess like Scotland, have got thicker in number. And this morning they were just trying to eat me alive. I think it's because they hadn't seen any food for a while, so as soon as I step outside, they're like, yay, it's breakfast time. So I've missed out this morning because I was parked right next to that beautiful lake and I had full intentions of going for a swim. So we've got 246 kilometres to go to get to the most northern point of Europe, Nordkapp. Its antlers look fairer. It's great, isn't it? It's not my cup of tea, that. I prefer to be either on my own or one or two other camper vans, not where it's like a campsite like that. But each to their own, and there's nothing wrong with campsites, it's just not my thing, that's all. I think they're brilliant. There's a time and a place for me. I'd certainly use a campsite if I were visiting a big city and I wanted to be able to leave the van somewhere secure while I were doing the tourist thing. But other than that, I'd rather not. But like I say, I'm glad that they're a good thing. They're very expensive as well. I mean, when you're full time, basically, you know, if you're paying like 30 quid a night just to park, for me, I don't need electric or anything. I'm just parking up. You could rent a house for what that costs. That's not the reason why I don't prefer campsites or use campsites. It's a big bonus that I don't have to pay that, obviously. I'm not relying on paying that. I've just seen my first British number plate and I'm almost at Nordkapp. So this is the last stretch now and it's incredibly gusty. I've got to slow down. Absolutely beautiful. And I have to say, some of this coastline has reminded me of the coastline of Northern Ireland, parts of it. This not so much. So that weird structure on the left, I keep seeing stuff like that. I don't know what it's for. So that pit stop there. I saw my second British number plate. So that's two in one day, and it's the first of the whole trip. And I went over and said hello. They're only from the very next village that I'm from. So we were doing the whole, into a small world. It's fascinating, isn't it? Each line in those rocks represents a time period. So you can effectively go back millions of years. It's grim up north. Wow. Tell you what, it's July now and it's grim now and there's 24-hour sunlight now. Can you imagine this in winter when you get to the point where there's 24-hour darkness? So you're not even getting a little bit of sunlight, occasionally a little glimpse of it just to warm it a little bit. It is gonna be just unbelievable. And somehow people live here. You know what they say, don't knock it till you try it, but I mean, I'd like to have a little taste of it just to, you know, to be able to experience it, but it's what I'd have to go through to get here. I don't think I'd make it all the way here before I would cry my eyes out. It's funny that I hate being too hot. I think I prefer to be cold than hot. When it's red hot, you can't go out. I can't go out when it's red hot. I just can't go out in it. When it's freezing cold, I can wrap up, get a woolly hat on, get out there and enjoy being out there. In fact, it's really lovely being out on a crispy, cold morning, whereas red hot, sweltering morning, not lovely about that for me at all. I get it when people go on holiday and they stop in a hotel and they buy the swimming pool with the pina colada and all that malarkey. I get that. And every time you get a bit hot, you have a little dip and then you come back out again and have another pina colada. Totally get it. It's just not for me. It's not my bag, that. Right, we're going to test the universe. I've picked a point, the last chance to park up for free, and I've picked that. I've got that in the sat nav, but there's only one parking space, just the one. So, is the universe with me today? Do I need to put lottery numbers on, basically, or not? We'll find out in 7 minutes. Thank you, universe. Well, that's just amazing, honestly. That there ahead with the ball on top is the visitors centre, but it's 1 kilometre away from here. So it means I'm going to get some steps in today, which is a good thing because I've spent a lot of time sedentary lately. This parking spot is fabulous, look. I mean, if the sun ever comes out, that's just going to be mind-blowing. The wind is extremely strong and gusty. I'm thinking what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a bite to eat, and I think I'm going to have a kip and we're going to go for a midnight walk. I've got to, haven't I? It's the only way to do it, isn't it? It's the only way to do it. I'd be doing it wrong, wouldn't I? And then I'd just have to live with that forever, coming all this way and doing it wrong at the end. Been there too many times. Right, it's 1:45 and I'm about to set off. I thought I'd talk to you now because it's sort of windy outside. I don't know if you can hear, but you might not be able to hear me when I'm out there. So, this is what midnight looks like at this time of year. Apart from there would be actual sunshine. There is actual sunshine behind those clouds. And it's all misted over as well. I'm trusting that the universe is going to lift that mist for me by the time I get over there. It better do. It's amazing how busy it is up here at this time. Don't blow away. I'm really excited about this. It's midnight, just about, give or take. That's proper windy. I wish I'd put my gloves on. Midnight sun. I can't imagine I'll ever be more north on the planet than I am right now. The truth of the matter is, this isn't actually the most northerly point, although tourists like myself call it that because there's a road to this place. But the most northerly point is just over there, and I did consider doing it, but it's a 10-mile walk, which is 2 miles over my comfort zone. I could do it, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna satisfy myself with the fake northernest point. I think it's over there, look. This is the Children of the World monument. It's about as close as I'm allowed to get to these fancy places. I'd rather be out here. So this is what the top of the world looks like. Well, this time of year. Nowhere. Where does that go? It's midnight. I'm so
chuffed that I've made it here. So chuffed. I haven't even got a plan after this. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning and we've got cloud cover at the moment. Otherwise, we'd have sunshine. Sun shining on us at 1 o'clock in the morning. Wow. That is incredible. Just beautiful. This is it. This is us driving into the midnight sun, even though it's 1 a.m. Wow. You know what they say, when in Rome. Thank you so much for coming along with me on my journey and keeping me company. I really do appreciate it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to join me on future episodes.